Welcome to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of body fat testing, the different types of testing, and more information that you need in regards to the best type of testing for you. So if you're ready, listen up and lean in as we elevate your mind. All right.
You have a very busy week.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have a busy week. I have a busy 48 hours.
Oof.
Ay. But this is my life.
What's the air conditioning update?
So the air conditioning stopped working, but then I was gone. I was running errands and I came home and I was so flustered because I was like, I can't leave. He's like, do you want to go to a hotel? I'm like, I can't leave right now. I can't leave. I need to pack. I need to do all this other stuff. Plus I have to work. And so I was like, just go out there. And because last time this happened, he like had to turn it all off and turn it back on, like the switch on the what's it called box, the breaker box.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, I didn't realize there was two switches. And the one that I didn't touch was off. So then he turned it on, AC comes back on. But then after like a couple hours, it turned off.
Ooh.
So we have had this issue with the pump that like gets the water out of the whatever. I don't know what it is. But so last night he's like, well, I have no idea what any of this means, but it worked. So he's like, I have this timer. So I'm just going to put this timer on the pump. I'm going to turn the pump off and then have the timer turn on every 2 hours. So hopefully it just like flushes it out. And then that just tells the AC that it's working. It worked.
Oh.
But I was like, they're going to come and fix it today between 3 and 5. So I wasn't sure what time they were coming. I wasn't sure if they were going to be loud. So I was like, let's just do virtual. Plus, I wasn't sure if I was going to have AC. So here we are, virtual. I mean, 108 degrees today, but that chilly sleep, let me tell you, I would have survived my chilly sleep.
Well, that you guys got the new thing because you didn't update anybody on that.
Yeah, so wait, did I not talk about it on here?
You talked about getting it because the older couple sold it, but then you didn't say how it actually broke. And then they sent you a new one.
Yeah, they weren't gonna do it, but the couple went to bat for us that we bought it off of, and we got a brand new chili sleep system for one side of the bed. And the people were so nice. I almost want to buy them a gift.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I also don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. I mean, we did get it for a steal. So
yeah.
Very, very good. How was your weekend? You were
my lips.
You were tanning and your husband was not. Your partner, lover was not.
He definitely, but somehow he still got burned.
So you guys, she's posted a picture that he's literally like covered up, clothes on, like not in like like his shirt off, under an umbrella.
Yeah.
I can't.
He still got burnt. I was like, how did you still get burnt? He's like, I'm just white. I'm really white. We're not all blessed with skin like you. And I was like, okay. So yeah, it was really good. We drove there and then the Airbnb was actually Huntington Beach.
There you go.
And the Airbnb was clean. They had everything that you could possibly think of, which I really appreciate. The only thing that didn't work well there is their can opener. So I did let him know that their can opener doesn't work. Well, like it's something that's easily overlooked. And, so it was great. We went to the beach one day and then another day we went and got massages and they were okay. Nice. And then hung out, then we went to the beach, then we went to dinner with my cousin and then we drove back. And yeah, we didn't really do anything. He did fantasy football. I would work and like check in with clients on the mornings and just and then check in with them throughout the day. But it was just like, we really didn't do too much. And it was really nice to just be like in 75 degrees instead of 105 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stayed at the Paseo Hotel right there.
Oh, yeah. We were like, so we were literally a 10-minute walk from the beach, a 10-minute walk from like downtown, a 15-minute walk from like a grocery store. So it was a really good location. And then there's a gym there that's like a little grungy, but it's called Club Fitness Addiction. Oh, yeah. So if you live in Huntington Beach and you like to work out, I highly recommend that gym.
It's a little grimy.
It's a little grimy, but it's like
Mhm.
people in there are there to work out, which I appreciate.
Mhm.
And it's interesting because every time I've gone, most of the clientele or the trainers too are maybe like in their 60s and they're
Nice.
just ripped. And I'm like,
Love
this is,
that.
yeah. And there's usually at most like two other people in the gym when I go. So
That's nice.
yes.
Speaking of gyms, so my husband is so wonderful. He sends me articles
I gotta
that,
okay. Send it, talk about this, but we also have to talk about Marco's trainer from last week because you'll die.
ooh,
I know.
okay.
Go ahead.
Peloton and Planet Fitness are now making a pivot because strength training has become so popular
Uh-oh.
that they are going to be, I guess it's going to be called Peloton Strength.
What?
And now we'll be the judges of how well this program is laid out. If it's anything like their strength programs now, it's kind of useless. But if it's like an actual like phased training program over a course of 8 to 12 weeks with compounds and I don't know barbells, I think they said they're going to have gym workouts. And Planet Fitness is now coming over to the strength training side of things, like removing more of their cardio equipment. I don't think they're still going to get barbells because that would be like suicide for their brand, but it's pretty
That's
exciting.
interesting. Yeah, I have one of my clients that was in person. She was going to do the Peloton workouts, and I was like, let me know how that goes. And I need to follow up with her and see how it is. So
that's all exciting stuff, man. Let me tell you.
Interesting.
I think that we are starting a revolution.
Hopefully.
Our app is better. So
I agree.
It's almost better. I mean, I do love having the instructors, but we're not going to do that. So.
Yeah, but like at least ours is phased, whereas theirs, like you can find your favorite instructor, but like that might like I might like say Christina is my instructor, and so I do your videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but like they're just random workouts too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like my Monday considers my Wednesday and considers my Friday and then considers my next 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
Yep.
I was looking a gym up for my client who's in Costa Rica right now.
Ooh.
The gym at her hotel was the coolest gym I've ever seen.
Really?
It was like the thing is like top 5 gyms in the Caribbean.
Do you remember the name?
Yeah. I'm like, I want to stay there. I've got to ask her.
Okay.
I don't think she's back yet. Poor thing. I feel bad when our clients are just going through the ringer when it comes to like work and shit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gym is really nice. Our gym is there. It has a Smith machine and some dumbbells. It has a lot of
for Mexico, your gym?
Equipment. Yeah, because Dustin and I were talking about bringing our clothes to work out. I'm sure. I mean, we all met at the gym.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all will work out together at some point, or you will go work out.
Yeah, Adrienne will be there too. So
yep,
it'll be fun. I'm so excited.
She's got
this will
not
air
excited yet, but she's getting excited. I said I will be excited for you.
Yeah, this will air after the fact. So I've made shirts. Or getting shirts made. They're not made yet because the place that I ordered from said they'd be delivered on Friday. Still not delivered. Say they'll be delivered tonight, and we live on Wednesday. So I think I'm going to have to Uber package to go get them because she lives way north. This lady.
Ew.
North. So I'm just going to have to get an Uber package thing where they go and pick up a package.
That's nice.
Wonderful. If you don't want to drive. Usually she meets me at a gym off of Cave Creek in the 101. But I don't know. It just depends on when the shirts get there. Like if they get there at 2, then we can meet there in the morning. But again, I'm still going to have to Uber package because I don't have time.
Well, if she gets there tonight, then I can pick them up. And then because I have to go to work tomorrow.
Where's work at?
Remember off 7th Street in Missouri?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I'll ask. I'll have to look.
Option.
Yeah, because we'll see it. We'll see what the gal says.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made, those like heads with this, like you have like a popsicle stick. But I'm making it myself.
Oh, no.
So I have to cut those out because it was going to be like $400 for them to cut them. And I was like, how much is it just to print them? They're like 50. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that myself. So, and then I'll like super glue them and stuff. And then I have little mini sombreros, sunglasses, leis, little cup holders that are inflatables. I have sunglasses, sombreros.
You got your nails done, I can see too.
Yes.
Yes. Very tropical.
Very cute. Thank you. For those listening, I have my thumbnail and my pinky are gold glitter. My pointer finger is like a hunter green, and then my middle and ring finger are white with like palm trees on them.
Mhm.
She did so good. But yeah, I've got all these things, and I need to put it all together because it's Jordan and Dustin's birthday. So,
oh shit, really?
Yeah, so we're celebrating both.
Oh.
So yeah, it'll be good.
Okay. And then you've got a full day of clients and calls tomorrow usually, so that's a lot. I think one of the gals that did a Q&A with us, she said she scheduled a call, so.
Yes, she did.
Yay!
And she used your link.
Yay!
Yeah, so she's with me tomorrow.
Good.
Yeah, let's see what we got going on, guys. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 calls tomorrow. Yeah.
So let me put that in context. For the people that are like 9 calls, I'm like, it's a lot of energy. Like even if the calls are half hour or an hour. So even if they're half hour, so that's at least 5 hours of your day. That is just talking to people. And not that we don't like talking to people. We love talking to people.
Yes.
But after a while, like, because you're hearing so much about people's emotional, I don't want to say baggage because that's not right, but like experience. There we go. After a while, it's like, holy cow, like you just need a break. And then when you're done, you're just kind of shot with energy because you have to think I'm giving my energy to them to present one, why this program is going to help them. But two, the people who are already in the program that we're having calls with is how can I help them sort through a tough time right now? Or how can I help them kind of prepare for something that's coming up that they're nervous about, or their nutrition or their body image and whatnot. So you're perpetually almost letting people give you their emotions and you're holding them for them and helping them kind of redefine the reality. So that's why when she says 9 calls, that's a lot of calls. And like the most I can really do in a day is maybe about 5.
Oh God, I wish. So yeah, but I'm excited. We leave at 8. We've got first class, baby.
Which airline?
Thank you, Mark. What was that?
Which airline?
American.
Okay. You got first class.
And that's it.
Nice.
For those of you listening, I'm taking the time off. And I want the women out there with the hustle and grind mentality. Like I used to be so nervous to take time off that I wouldn't, right? So I have open hour calls that the other coaches come on, and we decided I'm not even going to do messaging. I'm going to have my TMOM or my one-to-one clients. We're going to give the other coaches like a little mini group. So they'll be like 3, 3, 3. And that'll just be a place where they can get support for the one-to-one clients in like a small group setting. And I sent a text out to everyone and they're like, yeah, no, I'm fine with that. So my clients they're being really super helpful. So yeah, I think it'll be
That's
good.
A good idea of something to try.
Away. Yeah. So like you have one client you're watching over. Desley has like 5. Liz has 5. And then I'll give, depending on how many people say that's fine, I'll make those little mini groups for the one-to-one clients. Because they're going to meet with me this week and have a plan, but like just for the support, especially because some of them are newer that, just like, hey, I'm really struggling. And the nice thing too is 2 of my new clients have Liz as a co-coach, assistant coach, and Laura as an assistant coach. So they'll be able to have a week of, doing it like it's just them. So cool. All good things. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
I interrupt this episode to bring you our biggest promo, which is $100 off the Mindset Method group coaching cohort. This cohort is designed to work in a group capacity and work together to understand your relationship with your body, food, and self-worth. More importantly, this is our last cohort in 2024, and you'll be able to work with my Mindset Method coaches on how to not put too much on your plate, both figuratively and literally during the holiday season. In this program, you receive access to the Mindset of Matter app, where you get access to our exclusive Mindset Method curriculum and reflections. On top of that, you receive daily journal prompts to help solidify what you're learning through that curriculum and that reflection of the week. And more importantly, you get time with a coach. You and your cohort will work with your Mindset Method coach to process and understand and get coaching around what you're learning. And that is on a weekly basis. On top of that, and last but not least, you'll get access to the community forum and so many other resources. So if you're ready to go through a holiday season where we do not binge, we don't see weight gain, we don't go into the mindset of starting again on January, check out the show notes below for the link to this offer. Now, back to the show. So we wanted to talk about like body fat testing. Many people, women specifically, get so caught up on the scale. Like this client, well, back to 150 weight officially, nothing makes sense. I even added 20 minutes of walking daily with my workouts. So this person, she has been tracking, we've been tracking in a deficit, but she came off of semaglutide when she came to me and unfortunately has just slowly gained the weight back. Now, she is strength training. She also is wake surfing like 1 to 2 times a week. So
that's a lot of energy.
She's very active.
Yeah.
And like it, obviously the 150 is a weight anomaly. I don't think that is the problem, but she has a lot of gut health issues, so I am almost just going to have her work with Liz.
Yeah.
But I just, she's looking at the weight, but her body hasn't changed much. So like, I'm sure she had that data of, what we're talking about today, any sort of body fat testing, that we might have a different feeling about this, because especially when someone loses weight like that, like from something like Ozempic, the faster the weight loss, the more likely we're losing a lot of muscle. Even like skin can get loose and all of that. So like being able to look at your body fat and muscle mass, right? I'm thinking like a DEXA scan, but also one thing is bone density. Like the lower we eat in a diet, so restrict the lower calories or lower fuel, we, especially over 40, like promote, our bone health is already, decreasing. The lower we eat, the more we push that forward. So we'll talk about the different types. I'm personally just talking about a DEXA right now, but body fat testing. When's the last time did you have your body fat tested?
Honestly, probably like 2021. I would love to go. Well, I'm obviously not going to get it done now because it'd be pretty high. But like so here's the negative.
I don't think it'd be high
from pregnancy.
I don't feel like your body fat percentage is, you have a baby. You're going to count the baby's body fat?
No, but like it'd be depending on how I measure it, it's going to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking obviously you couldn't get a DEXA scan.
Right.
Right. But I was thinking if you did, would it be body fat?
No. And like, it wouldn't necessarily be body fat, but like, if I did like the electrical impedance that 98% of big gyms have, then it'd be like, red flag.
Yeah, that's the last one that I did, was an in-body scan.
Yeah,
and
same.
It told me I had 25% body fat.
Yeah, mine said like 30 something. And I was like, I don't know about that. But this is where it's like the negative of having a home gym is because there isn't, like, most gyms have some type of body fat testing, at least that they offer or that they'll bring in monthly. But again, you can use like skin calipers too, or you can do like the measurements and put them in the calculator. But it's nice to have I don't want to say like these body fat options of testing are completely objective, because as we'll talk about, there are some pros and cons and considerations with each of them. but it's nice to see the trend. So just like you were talking with this client, like maybe she weighs 150 today, but overall her weight would be 148 this week. So the trend is actually going down, for example. And so
Yeah.
when you consider body fat testing, it's just measuring the amount of fat in your body at like one time, right? And that one time can be manipulated based off of multiple variables. And again, we'll talk about where each one has their variable. But the goal is really to, like, I like clients to use this as a way of creating a better picture. So of the puzzle pieces together. So we've got weight, we've got measurements, we've got pictures, we've got body fat testing, we've got how we feel, we've got our energy levels, we've got our strength. When we combine all of those, it creates a much better picture of progress as opposed to just the body fat test or just the scale. And it's a way to understand our body composition. So for example, with the people who are choosing to go like on Ozempic or like the GLP-1s, this would be a good indication of if I'm losing weight, that's, usually the goal of some of them. But is it weight that's fat mass or muscle mass? And if I'm seeing a trend of it continually being muscle mass, then because I can look and take pictures and look like I'm losing weight, but if I don't understand how to find that weight is muscle versus fat in those pictures, then this is a good way of seeing, like, is this decline coming from my muscle or my fat? And if it is coming from muscle, then we need to radically shift some things, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I, like you said, it's like a bigger picture. And not only that, like we're not, if we talk like muscle versus fat, but like, let's talk about like visceral fat too. Right. So you have subcutaneous fat, which is fat that you like have under your skin. And then you have visceral fat, which is around your organs. Right. Some of the tests, now that's the funny thing is the ones we're going to talk about say that they test these things, but they're highly inaccurate. Yes. So for me, working with women, especially, in midlife, like the visceral fat is a bigger deal. And I'm not going to like, you could lose subcutaneous fat, not visceral fat, and you're actually unhealthier than you were.
Will you talk about the difference between subcutaneous fat and visceral fat, just for our listeners that missed that episode?
So visceral fat is fat that is around our organs. It keeps our organs safe. Oftentimes in premenopause years, so when we're having a period, we store it mostly around our lower abdomen, hips, and thighs, and that's by design, right? Now, there are a lot of things that happen in menopause. Number one, changes in the gut microbiome. Number two, changes in cortisol and inflammation, right? And then loss of muscle mass, so reduction in muscle mass. So all of those things together can cause an increase in visceral fat around the organs. So you'll see, basically around perimenopause, menopause years, we go from like 5% visceral fat, which is healthy and well, to up to 15 and 20%, which was, that is actually from the North American Menopause Society. And so not only will we see this visceral fat increase around our face, around our breasts, and around the menopause belly, which is the one that people are, most talking about on social media. But you'll kind of see that body comps like shift. So you used to have it down in the like lower region and it kind of shifts up. I definitely have noticed on my body, which I'm someone who's never had an issue with my stomach ever. Like I'm just naturally have a smaller waist and always have had like thick thighs and an ass. And so I can definitely see it, but also like I can also feel my gut changing. So I don't want to digress. Subcutaneous fat is the fat that we can lose from a calorie deficit. Now, you can also lose, like to lose body fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. But visceral fat, we also have to look at the quality of food. We have to look at gut microbiome. We have to look at stress levels. And so it's just a different approach on how to handle it, right? So your normal diets are going to help you lose subcutaneous fat. But again, I want to really explain to people, the faster you lose weight, the more muscle you are losing.
And the faster you're likely to gain it back as well.
Oh, yeah.
1,000%. If we don't work on our behaviors.
Yeah.
of the weight gain. So
So
yeah, I think that, okay, yes. So when we're talking about when we do these testing, so there's multiple testing that you'll see, and it really is more so about access to the tests. Like some are more easily, like again, skin calipers is a lot easier, our low entry point to getting the test done, as opposed to like what the breathing pod, is that what it's called? The bod pod.
oh yeah.
Like it's a high kind of way to get to it. So what you need to know before you're doing one of these tests is that one, your timing is important. So, and you really need to consider, like, if you're, for example, say, let's go back to your one client, the 150 gal. If
Mhm.
she does it tomorrow morning and then in 3 weeks from now, she does it on Saturday afternoon, that's just in itself going to give different results. She could have
Does
had
what?
what?
You didn't say what was. Weigh herself.
Oh, wait. No, I'm talking about the body fat testing.
Oh, cut
Okay.
that.
Sorry. I was like,
I thought you were saying weighing herself. Okay.
no,
Go ahead.
that too would change significantly, is in between those two time frames.
Mhm.
So you ideally want the same time of day. And this is what also makes it complicated too, is if, say, we do it every Monday, like, did I have the same thing to eat and the same activities and everything as I did on Sunday as for the prior Sunday and the future Sunday? And so we
Mhm.
have to understand there's going to be fluctuations just based on lifestyle and natural, like, life living.
Right.
Morning is obviously best, just like weighing yourself. Morning is obviously best before eating or drinking. So that's another thing to consider. Like maybe you're going to do it at the gym, but you don't work out until 8 o'clock and you usually have lunch or breakfast before. So yeah, we can have the same breakfast to kind of minimize the variables here, but that
Mhm.
also means that breakfast does play a role, right,
Right.
on how it comes out.
It's tough because oftentimes when I'll see people like, oh, I got my body fat test. I'm like, well, what time of day was it?
Right.
Because you're fluid, like you're saying, you're fluid in your body, how much you weigh in that moment, especially with these shit tests like the bioelectrical impedance tests. Like
Right. We should throw
it
Michael's test up
completely,
just for like
it's,
reference.
it really is horseshit.
Mhm.
Like I could literally, I mean, I've been 15% body fat on one of those and 25% body fat on one of
Right.
those, and my body has not changed. Now, was I much leaner then? Yes. However, I didn't gain 10% body fat, you
Right.
know? So,
So,
um,
like, well, and like you said, be aware of hydration too, because that can
mhm.
impact it. If we exercise excessively before, that can impact it.
Yep.
We need to be, go ahead.
I was gonna say at F45, we did in body scans. Like you came first thing in the morning, you came
Really?
dry, no water, pee,
Uh-huh.
get it, wear the smallest amount of clothes you can. And we're not doing it before the workout or we're not doing it after workout. We're doing it beforehand.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking
But
at
yeah,
this real quick.
strenuous exercise, again, being consistent with your posture, your clothing, the environment, sometimes even using the same test. I'll
Yep.
notice that one test, it can be a same in body. I could do one day, the other day, having all variables basically the same if I could, other than the test, and it will be different. But again, just like everything we talk about, it's just like taking this data and looking at it over time,
Mhm.
right? So I tell clients that because I've had clients get DEXAs and have a DEXA in between two really good ones that was, not showing progress, if you
Mhm.
will. And we just say, okay, like this is, then I was able to look at her month and she was sick that month. She
Mhm.
had COVID for like 2 weeks. So like, okay, like we've got to be okay with that. Like that's
Mhm.
how life happens. And then the next one came out and she was right back to where she wanted to be. So definitely want to, just recognize like this isn't hard and fast. This is not, this is one, like you said, piece of data that we can use. So
I would say also similar to the scale, like for our clients that have maybe a negative reaction and negative outcome for their day based on the scale.
mhm,
Similar to this guy that the body fat testing, if you're finding that each time you do it, you're disappointed and then you're wanting to change like your methodology of what you're doing to try and improve your health, then maybe we consider not doing it. Just because
yeah,
it's available, it doesn't mean it should be used. Similar to like protein powder, just because it's available doesn't mean like we should use it and not,
mhm,
there are times when it's fine too. And if that works for you, but if it doesn't, and if it like upsets your gut or like upsets your mindset, then maybe it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Well, I have had people literally send me their in-body scans crying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, do you want me to show you? Now there's pictures out there, you guys, of like, this is what 20% looks like. Body fat looks like. This is what 25%. And I sent it to her and I'm like, do you really think that this is what you look like? Because I don't, you know. But again, so let's get into it, because this is the one we're talking about, is the bioelectrical impedance analysis, a BIA. So this is like your in-body scan, right? So you stand on this platform barefoot, you hold on to these like arms that come off of the in-body with your thumbs on the little, there's like divots, and you just stand there quietly and without moving.
I interrupt this episode to bring you our August promo, which is $1 for 1 month of the Mindset and Movement fitness training app. This app has been designed for anyone, whether you're a beginner, advanced, whether you have access to a full gym, or maybe you have dumbbells at home, or maybe you only have 20 minutes and you want to get a great workout in. If this is you, this app has been designed for you. The app includes 4-phase training programs. We have a 5-day split for someone who has access to a full gym. We have a 5-day split if someone has access to dumbbells. We have a 3-day body weight and band split if you want to start there. We have a 3-day time crunch dumbbell workout split if you're short on time. And we have core programs that you can add to any of the other programs. The nice thing about this app is that every month the workout change. The workouts are going to be designed based on the previous workout, so they're well phased so that you get the results that you desire. You also get access to our community forum of like-minded individuals to share your experience and share your workouts and your success. You'll also get access to a variety of resources that the Mindset of Matter includes in this program. So if you're ready to get in the best shape of your life, click the link below to get $1 for 1 month. And here's the great thing. After the first month, it's $29 per month. So you'll definitely want to partake in this. Now, back to the show.
And it measures your body fat by sending like low, as they say, low electrical current throughout the body, right? And so fat and lean tissue conduct like electricity differently. So the resistance encountered to be used, the resistance that you encounter can be used to estimate like your body fat percentage, right? It's quick, it's easy. You get a printout, right? I think like my girlfriend does them for $25 a pop. I know like Jenny uses them for her work. And but she's really interesting because she takes it a step further and looks at the fluid, like your water level, like fluid levels.
I haven't asked her about that.
She was telling me that. So let me turn off. I gotta put on do not disturb. Stop disturbing me, people. I like we talked about, it's highly inaccurate. Now, if I'm using the same one and I do it over time, like this is what I would tell even like the members at F45, I'm like, just use it over time. It's told people who I know were not 19% body fat that they were 19% body fat. Yeah. And I'm like, do you know what 19% is low, guys? Like the low body fat on women. And
and let me, because you kind of touched on it, Precision Nutrition, which is like a certification program, they have. Yes, we do. They have like the cost of being lean essentially on one of their infographics. I'm going to try and find, maybe we should.
Have it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah,
we should link that in the show notes. Because so for example, like this 19% that you're talking about for some of these people that you worked with, and then this chart shows like what it typically looks like. And then it also talks about the level of, I want to say almost like restrictiveness that you need to achieve that look. Yeah. And so again, like another way of determining like, do I want to go down this path or where am I at on this path? That's a great PDF. And so like you're saying, the bioelectrical impedance, it's very variable. You and I have both had swayed results. And again, you got to consider the hydration level, like, right? Because if it's sending an electrical impedance, it's not going like oh, this is water. Like, we don't need to count that.
Right.
You know, like
exactly.
it's not that smart. And
Mhm.
your food intake. So again, if you had more carbs, you're going to automatically hold more water just by default. You know, it's not that you necessarily gain weight, but it could show an increase in body fat percentage. So it just, like you said, taking it over time and making sure it's the same equipment with the same place, the same environment, same clothing, as much as you can roll out the extremes or the variables.
Well, and again, say it says that you're 30%. We don't know if that's true, but over time, say it goes 29, 28, then we know there's a reduction in body fat in some way, right? So can we use it as data? But again, it has to be the same one, same machine is what we're saying. Because a machine can be not calibrated correctly.
Right.
And I've literally stepped off and stepped back on just to
And
prove
got
this
different stuff. Yeah.
Like very different. It's crazy. So, and then also on the sheet, it's using BMI as an indicator of health. So obviously if you're someone who trains, like Amanda and I would be considered overweight on a BMI scale because I'm 5'5" and 155.
Yeah, I've had a doctor told me I'm overweight.
Yeah. It does again show you an idea of your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. So you know kind of where you should be in regards to calorie intake, meaning what your body needs at rest, the calories you need at rest. It will show your balance in your body. So if you are a bit off balance, it should demonstrate that, right? Do we know how accurate it is? No. But it should at least be like, oh, I'm a lot stronger on my right side than my left. It will show a percentage of visceral fat. Again, is it accurate? We don't know. But the way we would just use it is, okay, are we seeing a trend in any direction? Right? And so that's how I use it. And I, as you can tell, and I think Amanda, you would agree, I don't love them.
I don't love them. I go, if someone brings them to me, I go, that's great.
Well, you've got to use it too. I mean, use it.
Well, I don't like it. That's great. We'll put this like in your picture. And we go from there.
The other thing, guys, your fucking scale doesn't test body fat. Stop using it. Jesus Christ. It pisses me off. I'm like, your scale, stepping on the scale is not going to send electrodes up your legs and like give you this body fat percentage. It's not. It's not how it works. It makes me angry.
I know.
Well, my body fat went up a percentage overnight. No, it didn't.
It could literally change. Like, so my mom has one of those fancy scales. And like we finally figured it out that it depends on if she has LMNT or not. Like, that's funny. Like it goes up if she has LMNT and then it goes down if she doesn't. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, but okay.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. So I had to be like, stop looking at that. Like,
well, let's talk about the DEXA.
The DEXA.
One I have not had, but I do love when my clients get them.
Yes.
Dual energy X-ray
geometry.
Geometry. Yeah. So a DEXA is like an X-ray, right? So you lay on this machine and it just kind of goes and like scans your body, right? And differentiates between bone, fat, and lean tissue. What I love about DEXA is it is more accurate. It's going to show your lean body mass, your fat mass, your visceral fat. It'll also show your bone density. And as any woman over the age of 40, we need to be making sure that shit is in check, especially if you are someone who's been yo-yo dieting most of your life. It gives you, I think it's 3 pages of data, which is nice. It'll show imbalances. It'll show fluid in all of that, right? It'll show distribution of fat throughout the body, muscle mass, and bone. Again, it is expensive. They now have clinics that do it. I don't remember the name, but I would like to go to them. So maybe I'll go get one when I come back and film it and like we can talk about it because I think that would be fun. But they are expensive. It's called like DEXA something.
Let's put it this way. I'm looking at the one that I just mentioned. For 2 of them, it's $410.
Yeah.
So
for DEXA fit.
Yeah. What are they costing?
Let's see. DEXA scan, $199. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's
you can
where,
do
again,
VO2 max. It's $179 for DEXA and RMR metabolism. It's $279 for DEXA, VO2 max, and metabolism. So
yeah.
your weight loss zone.
Mhm.
Calories to lose or gain weight. Interesting.
So yeah, as you're seeing, cons for this one is it's a bit more expensive. They require specialized equipment. So your gym is not going to have this. If they do, you're probably like a very fancy gym. And then again, if you have concerns with radiation, because it is an X-ray machine, there is a small radiation. I guess I couldn't get this done actually, now that I think about it, because I'm pregnant.
That's what I said.
I know, I didn't think of it. Like I was thinking, oh, I'll go get one. And then I was thinking, oh no, I'm pregnant. I forget. But it exposes you to a small amount of radiation. So if you do have concerns for that, then, maybe this one's probably not within the wheelhouse. Is there anything else you want to add to the DEXA scan?
No, I do stand by them, but again, they're not hard and fast either. Like I've had clients, like I said, have a DEXA in between two really positive, trending in the right direction DEXAs, and one that was like, psych. So she got really upset, and I'm like, we can't get upset. Like it's one test.
Right.
So it's that same thing. Hydrostatic weighing. Let's get underwater.
So
I want to do this too.
I know. I wish like we need to somehow make a connection with one of these companies and like somehow let us use their stuff. I guess, I don't know. Like I want to do this one too. Cause again, I looked at underwater weighing over a year ago, and there was a guy that did it here in town, and I texted and I emailed, didn't respond. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, FYI, for people, is no responses. Anyways, hydrostatic underwater weighing. So basically you are dunked underwater, and it's looking at, because your fat is less dense than water. And so now the more buoyant you are, so the more kind of floaty you are, the higher your body fat percentage. And this is one of the gold standards of measurements of body fat percentage as well. So similar to DEXA, like this is a great, but costly piece of the puzzle that you could find. Now, again, finding someone that does this, or like a clinic that does it, it's going to be hard to come by. And you're also in water. So if you have a fear of water, I mean, maybe that's not the best way to do it either.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you don't like to be in, I don't know, we should probably look, because we haven't had one personally, at how longer, like how many times you have to do it to get like an accurate.
Oh, like go up and down, up and down.
Yeah. Cause I mean, obviously you're holding your breath. I guess. Do you have like an oxygen mask? What happens here? All right. Air displacement.
Bod pod.
Plethysmography. Bod pod. So this measures the volume of your circulating air displacement in like a bod pod, in like a sealed chamber. I think Michael Jackson, when he used to go into that, what was it called? The what are they called? Hydrostatic chamber or something. Anyways,
what?
And combines this with body weight and estimated bone density and fat percentage. So you're in this little pod, this air circulating, and through that, it will show the volume of your bone density and your fat percentage. It's accurate. It's quick. It's easy. It's more comfortable than going underwater. You don't have to get your hair wet. But again, very expensive. Right. How much are they?
I was trying to find BodCod. It says at Phoenix Medical Spa in Phoenix, Arizona, costs $40 for a 45-minute session. So I wouldn't say
that's not bad.
I know.
I want to go do it right now.
I know.
I'm going to do it tomorrow on my day that I have nothing else to do. Just kidding. I love that idea. I want to, we'll see what that is. 45?
Let me look at, this is a sports performance clinic. So The bod pod bioelectrical impedance and a VO2 max or lactate threshold is 125. So it can't be that. Bod pod is $50. So there we go. It is much more economically sound.
Yeah. We should talk to one of these people, see if we can get at least our Phoenix clients hooked up.
This is an exercise at Glendale Community College at the Sports Performance Lab.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
How much is it there?
That's what the cost is the $50.
Oh, $50.
So the bioelectrical impedance is 15. Skin folds, bioelectrical impedance and circumference is 30. Resting metabolic rate is 50. Performance test of VO2 max or lactate is 80. Let's see. So then that you can do, here we go. The performance package is resting metabolic rate, bod pod, bioelectrical impedance, and VO2 test or lactate threshold is 150. Or you can do the works, which is resting metabolic rate, bod pod, bioelectrical impedance, VO2 max, lactate threshold is 200. So we have just found our place, ladies
This
and gentlemen.
actually brings up a good point, you guys. Colleges and universities, I had a client who got hers done at Boise State.
Oh, well, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, because they have, like the athletics department will use a lot of these things. So look at your local community colleges and your universities. They are always testing these things because people have to learn how to use them.
Yes.
So speaking about learning how to use them, skin fold calipers.
Oof.
Not my favorite because it's literally, they're like, don't flex. And I'm like, but you're just grabbing fat on my body.
And also, hopefully you're doing it in the same exact spot and the same exact person. Yeah. Even, let's put it this way, for those of us that do measurements, like sometimes it's hard. Like I have to remember a certain freckle that I use as my reference point.
Yeah.
So
I have a line like right on my stomach just from sitting, I think. And I use that for like my waist.
Reference. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
So the calipers, you can get these off Amazon. Let's see how much they are.
Yeah. So we're focusing on like skin fold thickness at specific sites on your body, right? So you have your tricep. It's on the back of your upper arm. So ladies, that area that does this. I was looking at this the other day. If I had jigglies, the front of the upper arm, about halfway between the shoulder and elbow, your subscapular. I can't speak today. So just above the shoulder blades, right? At a diagonal angle. So we want to be at diagonal. The iliac crest, just above the iliac crest. So top of the hip bone, slightly on the side. Your abdomen, so about an inch to the right of your navel, which is my favorite one. On the front of the thigh, midway between the thigh and the knee, and calf at the widest part of the calf muscle. So you just take these little pinchies and you don't flex. And you're just grabbing to see. We have some here.
Do you?
Yeah.
They're about anywhere from $8 to $40 on Amazon.
Yes. So again, inexpensive, provides a good estimate of where you're at. Honestly, what I would do, guys, is like put all of the info into just ChatGPT and let it calculate it for you. Yep. Don't try to do a math. Just put it in there. Watch. Let me see if I ask it. Create the algorithm to for the above. Let's see. Yeah, so then it gives you like skin folds, and then it'll just ask you for 3 of the folds, right? And so then it adds up tricep, the iliac crest, thigh, or you can do the Jackson. So there's different types of tests. So you have the Jackson Pollock 3 site, you have the Jackson Pollock 7 site.
Yeah.
And then I would just put boom, boom, boom. These are my 7 sites or 3 sites. Throw it in there and you'll have a good. I need to do that.
That would probably be most convenient for you, being that you already have it. And then you have a home gym and that you.
No, I'm going to GCC, baby. If I would have known they had that when I cheered there, I would have freaking been like there every day.
Had I known they had that, 2 years ago, I would have gone every fucking month. Right. But here we are. It's okay. We're learning.
We're learning.
Live and learn.
We've touched on this other one, which is body mass index. So that's BMI. Just your BMI. So that is using your weight and height. So your weight basically in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. But again, if you look at my weight, so let's put this in.
I'm doing it right now. So I'm 5'2". My weight before pregnancy, I want to say is we'll say 140. We'll be conservative.
So I'm 25.8.
I'm 25.6.
Look at
So
us.
I am overweight.
Yay, overweight. Look at me being
Yeah.
overweight over here. However, if I look at this, so I'm going to say, you guys can literally use ChatGPT. Calculate hip to waist ratio.
Which we like better.
Yep. So we got 26.5 waist. And what is my 36 hips? And I'm 5'5".
Let me go before I was party.
Pounds, female, 41. So 0.73. So I'm at low risk for chronic disease. So I'm 0.73. Anything under 0.8 is considered generally low risk. Your waist to hip ratio between 0.8 and 0.84 is considered moderate risk for chronic disease. Anything over 0.85 is considered high risk for chronic disease. Also, guys, if you have anything over between 0.8 and up, that also can be a sign that you are insulin resistant. Now, again, jury's out on, what's actually going to tell us testing wise about insulin resistance, because I've seen people have fine like A1Cs, but still show a lot of the symptoms of insulin resistance. So just keep that in mind. So waist to hip ratio or BMI. I like the waist to hip better than the BMI for sure. And I actually put in EverFit a waist to hip ratio metric.
Oh, good.
If you want to keep track of it.
Yeah.
So it's in there. EverFit's the app we use for our dealio.
Mm-hmm.
These other ones, I've never heard like infrared interactants.
No
Uses
idea.
infrared light to measure the amount of fat in the specific part of the body, like the arm. The light reflects differently depending on the type of tissue.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this?
Nope. This is
Yeah,
when I did my research to prepare for this podcast. Those came up.
And then
I thought,
ultrasound.
Yeah, ultrasound.
I will say this. When I tore my labrum or my labrum frayed, I had to get a CT scan.
Yeah.
And on there it said like I don't remember the verbiage, so I'm paraphrasing, difficulty like with this test because of the low body fat that I had in my body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then also my heart rate was so low. I was the healthiest mess you've ever seen in a hospital. They're like,
Right.
okay, you're like, your fucking thing is going off because your heart rate's too low. And then we can't get your accurate test because your body fat's too low. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. People get very concerned when I go to the doctor because my heart rate's always very low.
Yeah.
Like, they're always, is there? And I'm like, I'm fine. It's always low. Don't worry about it. Like,
yeah.
It's okay.
So lots of boring information about stuff. What do we want you to take away from this? These are all available to you depending on how much you want to invest. And I will say, if we're going to invest in one, we should probably do it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So look at the options. Obviously, calipers is a great option. You can use things like ChatGPT. Honestly, if you use calipers and a measuring tape too, because a lot of them will say, halfway down. So just take the measuring tape, right, at like your shoulder and then go down 3 inches and then put 3 inches down, right? It's just going to take like you keeping track of what you did. That's the easiest one. But again, if you're like, nope, I want all the bells and whistles, like both of us do, you can look at the hydrostatic, the DEXA scan, the bod pod. I again steer clear from.
I would leave those three. Yeah. And I think also depending if you do want to choose, it depends on which is right. Like maybe convenience. Maybe if you go to the gym every time and you're aware that the bioelectrical does fluctuate and there are things, but I'm looking for the trend. Great. It's pretty convenient if you go to the gym regularly and they have one. Cost, if you have the additional funds to go and get like the bod pod or the DEXA scan, great. But realizing it's at least, $200. So great. If the purpose of it, again, if I'm going to use it to torment myself, then maybe we don't need to do it. But if I'm doing it just out of curiosity and to watch a trend, or maybe I am going on one of these GLP-1s and I want to make sure that my fat mass is reducing, not my muscle mass, maybe. And I would almost I wonder how many clinics, probably it depends, but like that are including that impedance testing. Because like the impedance, again, you can buy the machine. I think you can probably buy it off Amazon. You can, like, if the clinics are including that when they're prescribing these, I would be really curious to hear that from a doctor's perspective if they are, but I'm sure it's hit.
That would be pretty amazing.
Right,
but-
because then you can, again, see the trend. And I don't necessarily say like give it to the patient, but just be able to track that.
Yeah.
And also it depends on like how accurate do you want this thing? Are you aware that like the biological impedance is pretty inaccurate, but you just want the trend, or do you want something super accurate? Because if you want something super accurate, you're going to pay for that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree. And again, it's just a part of your data. So I love this, especially for people, like you said, in a weight loss, the fat loss journey to make sure we're not losing too much muscle. But also for those just looking to gain muscle, which we have a lot of clients that are not trying to be smaller. They're trying to be stronger. And that is one thing about that is to put on muscle, it takes time.
Yeah.
So newbie gains are a real thing where if you're new to strength training, you'll see a bit more muscle mass come on. But like for the two of us, it's going to take us months to actually see 1 pound of muscle get on our bodies, where you're probably only seeing like 0.12 to 0.24 pounds of muscle each month. If you're doing it exactly right.
Yeah. And that made me think of something too, of another way to use these in a positive light is maybe like, for example, you're not seeing the scale go down, or you're seeing it go or you're seeing it go up, but your muscle trend is going up. That would be a way to like reinforce what you're doing is in the right direction as well, instead of just looking at the fat mass of it, of more so concentrating on the muscle gain.
Yeah, no, I agree. Good. All right. Well, hopefully you guys find this information helpful. We'd love to hear if you actually get one of these tests, what your experience was like, especially the ones we've never tried. We'd love to hear about it. But if you want more information like this, please give us a follow on our socials. You'll find myself and the team at the Mindset of Matter Coaching on Instagram. You'll find Amanda at fitbyamanda.az. You'll find our recordings of this to see my fancy nails on YouTube at the Mindset of Matter. And our promos, if you're in September and this is airing and you haven't signed up for our cohort, you have a couple days to do that. So the cohort is group coaching with one of the experts we have in mindset on the mindset method created by yours truly. And you can add on custom nutrition and exercise coaching. This is a wonderful option to coach with us that saves you time and money, but still gives you the same quality of our program. So look for that.
Did you see my stories today? Because I put in what the reviews that we've gotten for my group right now.
Yeah.
So for example, some of what my group has said about and mind you, they're not even done yet. So, how would you rate your level of support? Excellent. I feel very well supported. They realize that our emotions and internal thoughts aren't in silos. There's a common source for everything, just different manifestations. I thought I needed this program for body image, but what I'm learning about myself goes far deeper than that. The non-judgment and extra support you get from coaches, there's a flow to the structure. They've been forced to work through some emotional issues that were essentially stunting me from progress that I didn't even know I needed to face or overcome. And then exactly what I had the confidence, if I needed more support, I could ask and receive for it. And then one of the comments I like, because it was like any other comments, suggestions, or feedback, and they're like larger cohorts, but I'm not sure if that would be better or not. And I'm like, I don't want 15 people in a cohort because you're not going to get that one-to-one.
No.
Like I would say, let's divide that in 2 coaches at that time.
Yeah.
But she said it's excellent space, especially for like-minded people. But I feel probably so underutilized by many. More people should know about this program.
Thank you.
Some of the reviews.
I love it. Well, good. That cohort starts September 3rd. We're going to take you through the holidays. So please, if you're interested, check out the show notes below. It'll take you to the landing page where you can sign up directly. If you want to get on a clarity call with us, you'll also find that below. So that will be, if you're like, I don't know, do I want to do cohort? Do I want to do one-to-one? The clarity call is not for self-guided. That is just what it is. So anywho, But if you don't care about any of this and body fat testing sounds ridiculous to you, at least walk away with this one last thing.
What you say in the mind.
You see in the mirror. Goodbye.
Bye.